Again, welcome to each and every one of you. I know everyone here felt that Len was very special in their lives.
Speak louder.
That's understandable. Try to get this, turn the volume up on the microphone back there. I gotta move in front here. All right, I'm gonna stand over here. I met Len in 2005 when I got into this industry. And I don't even know why we hit it off right away. I don't even remember how or what. But soon he was my accountability partner that our manager wanted us to pair up and spend some time each week just working on how to be better realtors. And I apologize, I'm going to riff a little bit here and I'm going to do some reading so I don't forget what I want to say here. So we spent all this time as accountability partners, and eventually we moved brokerages and went to work with Dave Wilkinson, who's sitting right here with us. And eventually we went off and started our own team. And we spent more than 15 years on and off as partners in business. He tried and experimented with a few other brokerages and always came back. And it was great to have Len back. And I knew it was going to happen. We're going to be back, we're going to be friends. And this went on for 21 years for us. And I'm kind of jumping forward now to modern day, I guess we can call it, where we had developed a group of friends that we affectionately dubbed the Pomegranate Gang. And those who are in the gang here know why. Our host was the expert at making fresh pomegranate martinis. And if we got the call that, hey, we're doing pomegranate martinis, we were all there. And we had the best times just sitting around talking, sharing hors d'oeuvres, and having those martinis and dinner together. And that was all the way pretty much through the end of Len's life together here. So we had this huge string of connection here. And Len always shared his gifts throughout that time. Those 21 years with me, for more time with many of you, for less time with some. But what he did always bring was his gifts and his talents to every relationship he had. But the greatest gift that he shared with each and every one of us was his mind. He knew how to be friends with people, he knew how to help people, he knew how to serve people. And that helped create what I dubbed as the source reputation. Everyone would come to the source for information. So if they had an MLS issue, they came to the source, this man right here. If they had an OCAR issue, or a governance issue, or a transactional issue, or a contractual issue, they came to the source. And the funny part is, Len and I always sat in the same seats at Broker Preview in Laguna Niguel. So yesterday, I'm sitting in my regular seat. The seat that Len used to sit in is not occupied by Len, obviously. But someone had an MLS issue. And so what did Jeff, our facilitator, do? Brought him to me because I'm guilty by association. And I don't know. Because Len was the expert at the MLS. Anyone here who's in our business knows if there's any one person you can talk to about the MLS, you call Len first. I hope you bear with me here. I'm going to do some reading. I'm going to go back to March 5th of this year. It was a terrible, awful day for all of us, but for me, for two big reasons. One of which was the passing of my father-in-law that day. The other was the passing of my friend and business partner, Len Herman. I had lost my own father the previous October. So in a matter of 5 months, 2 in one day, I lost the three most significant people, or men, in my life. The people I could call, the people that mentored me, the people I relied on for great advice. And boom, they were gone. What hit me is, it's not to talk about me or make this about me, but what hit me was, Len was significant. And that's why you're all here. He was significant to us in some way or another. I've prayed and I strive to be significant every day to those around me, but Len did it. And he did it exceptionally well, as we can attest by the people standing and sitting in this room. That was a day, March 5th, I was dreading that day for several years. Ever since Len announced his diagnosis of his colon cancer. The doctors originally gave him 6 months. He didn't stick with the original doctors he had been working with. He kept going to better doctors. And he worked hard and he fought hard. And we all know, was it 3.5 years? 3.5 years he fought and he beat it pretty well. But unfortunately, cancer wins again, and it sucks. He was my friend for 21 years, as I said. He was my business partner for the better part of 15 years. He was a mentor, a sounding board, my wordsmith. I could always send him an email or a text or something, and he would fix it for me. He's my moral compass in times of doubt. I knew that Len would always count on doing the right thing. I think I can see nodding heads. We all know that if you doubted, call Len and say, here's what you're gonna do, right? He was also the purveyor of exceedingly corny jokes. And we've all been victims of his dad jokes. It's like the groaners, like, oh no, not again. He was very good at that. He was also very good at being a friend. He was a friend that I could call, we could all call. We could ask advice, and this was a true story. I called him on a Sunday evening at dinner time because he was such a handy fix-it man. I said, I got a leak in my wall, it's from behind the refrigerator. What do I do on a Sunday night with a plumber? Hello, Len? Suddenly he's walking up my driveway with his toolboxes. He's got 2 of them. He spent over 3 hours behind my refrigerator working on a leak. We couldn't stop the water from flowing. He taught me a new trick. Taking bread, crumpling it up and stuffing it down in the pipe to stop the water flow so he could raise on the new valve. And then it just disintegrated and we're back in business. He missed his dinner, I think. Pat, you had to turn the fire off under the food he left on the stove. But this is the kind of friend that he would just show up whenever he was needed. Sometimes even before he was needed. Len taught me what a volunteer and servant leader really looked like. I hope I don't offend anyone in this room because there's a few I might, but Len was by far the best president Orange County Realtors ever had. As being a past president, I'm saying that with the most sincere heart I can. He helped build this association into a lot of what it is today. He had a big piece in the hiring of Dave Stefanity as our CEO. He was the president of the MLS at the time, and he helped manufacture the merger that created CRMLS, one of the largest MLSs in the nation now. He had to sit through lawsuits and complaints, and a lot of the issues that a president has to do, for some reason it seemed like he had more of them than the rest of us might have had. But he did it with such strength and a good heart, and he just persevered all the time. He didn't seek the accolades from what his consequences brought to forth, but he deserved every bit of praise for it. His leadership encouraged me to step up and lead in the same role as he had had 10 years prior as president of OC Realtors. Again, he was my advisor, my cheerleader. He was a man of vision that allowed me and others to look good because of his ideas and his integrity. As my business partner, he was my most trusted right-hand man. I never doubted Len would do the right thing. I would have trusted him with my house keys and the passwords to my computer, which he did for me. When he and Pat would go on vacation or take an extended time, I got the password to the alarm system and the door keys to make sure everything was going to be right with the house. He trusted me that much, and that was something that made me feel very special in his life. He was as loyal as any human being could be. He loves Pat. He loved Pat, his wife, for 40 years. And I can see how he cherished and cared for her even through his own illness. He cared for everyone in his life through the pain. I'm going to miss Len's regular phone calls. He was really good at that when I wasn't. I miss texting him the off-color memes and jokes that I couldn't share online without getting into trouble. Because he would always laugh at them or send something just as off-color back to me. And I always appreciate that about Len. He was my venting outlet. I even miss Len's hockey stories. We've probably seen some pictures of him and his hockey outfit here. He took up club hockey in his 50s.
I think it was 57.
Yeah, so late 50s, he takes up ice hockey. I wasn't invited to his games, but I can imagine what an impressive figure Len cut on the ice there. A 6'3" old man with a big stick. I'm not gonna body check him. And then, I'm getting almost to the end here, so bear with me here. I'm gonna miss our broker preview days. We spent a lot of time driving together. He would drive, I'd navigate. Of course, I have directional dyslexia, so I'd tell him right and what I meant left. See, I just did it. So we finally worked out a system that he stopped yelling at me about, where I would say, driver's side, passenger side.
Good compromise.
But the best part of those was we worked out a lot of the world's problems and philosophizing while we were doing that. I'm gonna go through a list here. Len loved life. He loved a lot of things. And a few of the things that Len loved were his family of origin. He loved his hometown of Philadelphia. He loved not living in his hometown of Philadelphia. He loved Southern California. He loved most people. He loved strategizing his business and his life. He loved deep sea diving with Mike and with Craig here. He loved his hockey league. He loved being a leader in all aspects of his life. He loved humor that made others groan. We mentioned that. He loved cars, building, fixing, and driving. He loved being able to solve almost any problem and fix any device. That's the plumbing issue, or plumbing struggle. He loved his community and civic involvement when he ran for city council, for those who didn't know. He loved eating good food. He loved complaining about his neighbors. He loved even more bad jokes, but most of all, he loved his backpack. One of the most amazing things I've learned in talking to Len's friends lately is how many people say Len was my best friend. Do you realize how special it is that someone can have that said almost universally? How special is someone that so many people felt that he was their best friend? Len had a rare gift of making people feel heard, respected, and valued. We're all going to miss Len's vision of fairness, his humility, his deep commitment to service. His influence extended far beyond our association. He touched lives wherever he went, bringing wisdom, encouragement, and a quirky sense of humor to everyone around him. There's so much I'm going to miss. I feel that I miscalculated the time I had left with Len, which I did. I was busy with a father-in-law passing that morning when Pat let us know that we were going through Len. So, with the remaining Pomegranate Gang members, we're going to soon gather. We're going to lift a martini glass and we're going to toast Len. We miss you, Len. Godspeed, Len.